Eider out of form this season, 66 to 1. Baron Windrush, Carlo Elling comes up from Gloucestershire base, so Nigel Twiston-Davies is at 16s. Philson Run, who ran so well last time out, is 10 to 1. Corello, slightly easy to back on course, a 4 to 1 favourite. Brody Miller, who looks in terrific shape, the man of Tom Malone, is at 5 to 1. Kerry Lads, Peter Buchanan, who was none the worse after a tumble in the first, is at 12s. Bathwick Annie, like the top weight chives, out of form at the minute, 50 to 1. You're a Gasman, likewise, ignored in the betting at 33s. Malek for Richie McGrath, attracted money early in the week but has drifted today. Blinker's first time, he's 12 to 1. Robbo, who was second in this 2 years ago, is the mount of Rose Davidson. Brave Spirit is partnered by Tony Dobbin, a tough stayer, is at 10 to 1. Supreme Breeze, the man of Dominic Ellsworth, is at 16s. Miss Matty Ross, better known as a Kelso specialist, is at 20s. Devil's Run, Paddy Aspel, 16s. Tito for Jimmy McCarthy is at 33s. And the bottom two, DJ Flippants, Wilson Rennick is at 50s. And High Cotton, James Reevely, who claims £10, is at 14 to 1. That they'll start from is being omitted. Corello, money again for him now, he's back into 7 to 2. 5's done Brody Miller, 10's Philson Run and Brave Spirit, 12 to 1 Kerry Lads and Malek, and High Cotton 16 to 1 or bigger the remainder.
Eider chase 4 miles and a furlong ahead of them. They got 23 fences to jump. Chives, Kerry Lads in the cheap pieces, out wide DJ Flippants, done Brody Miller down the inside, all handy as they cross the first. Leaders get out over it safely, watching the others stream over. Corello has been put to sleep at the back of the field. Timmy Murphy in the green sleeve jacket has got just Baron Windrush behind him as they make the exit from the back straight on the first occasion. So settling down, Brody Miller and Tom Malone narrowly to Chives on the near side, the white cap, and then Kerry Lads erases on the outside of Miss Matty Ross in the white jacket. Supreme Breeze is down at the rail. Devil's Run is just in behind the leading group of 5 or 6 as they take the first up the straight and open ditch where Malek was a bit awkward on landing and got a broadside from one of his rivals. Still Corello towards the back with Baron Windrush. Philson Run is another of those held up with the white-faced Bathwick Annie as they rise at the next up the straight, fence 3, and early on DJ Flippins has lost his prominent position, and back in the field Corello didn't convince there, a bit awkward. Behind him, Baron Windrush almost jumped into his quarters. The next up the straight, Brody Miller leading the field. Philson Run in a bit tight, and Robbo was slow towards the back. So on quickly to fence 5, the last up the home straight on this occasion. Brody Miller leading Chives, about a length between them. And then out wide, Brave Spirit jumping up well in the white jacket to take 3rd place early on, with Miss Matty Ross and Kerry Lads prominent. Down the inside then in the yellow cap, Supreme Breeze, a couple of lengths to Devil's Run from Malek. Down at the fence, the green cap, DJ Flippins is out wide from Bathwick Annie, and then Philson Run followed by You're a Gasman mid-division, 2 lengths to Tito, and then a 3 or 4 length break to High Cotton. Corello up the inside. Baron Windrush is further back, and old Robbo not taking much interest at the moment. He's dropped himself out last of the field, and he finds himself adrift by at least half a dozen lengths as they turn along the side of the course. But still very early days, and they move on towards the next pair of fences, numbers 6 and 7. And Brody Miller takes them there, closely attended by the top weight Chives, and then Miss Matty Ross between horses. Out wide in the cheek pieces Kerry Lads, followed through by Brave Spirit. Right down the inside, Supreme Breeze. Then Miss Matty Ross in a bit close. Devil's Run took in about 6th or 7th position, just ahead of Malek in the green cap, and the white face of Bathwick Annie, and out wide DJ Flippants as they move up towards the next, and Chives in front there narrowly from Brody Miller. Looking back to the last few, High Cotton just ahead of Corello. Baron Windrush is still towards the rear, and Robbo is last of all. So down the back straight they go for the first time. Still got 3 miles to travel at this point, and a line of 3 fences await them in the Newcastle back straight, and Chives and David O'Meara narrowly to Brody Miller cutting the corner, and then out a little wider on the course goes Kerry Lads, followed through by Miss Matty Ross and Brave Spirit. Devil's Run and DJ Flippin. Supreme Breeze right down the inside, followed over by Malek from Tito, and then You're a Gasman in the blue sleeves. Deepest of all in the yellow jacket, that's Philson Run. Further back then to Corello from the grey High Cotton, and then Baron Windrush as they take the open ditch, and a desperate mistake by Devil's Run, who's unseated Paddy Aspel, gave him no chance at all. So Devil's Run, the first casualty of the Totesport Eider. Still towards the back, Baron Windrush is last of the main group of runners, and old Robbo is completely tailed off but continues as they head down now towards the final 2.5 miles of the contest, and Paddy Aspel seemingly none the worse, sitting rather disconsolately in the damp Gosforth Park turf. So on towards the next in the back straight, fence 10 looming large, and Chives holds the advantage still from Dunbrody Miller with Kerry Lads out wide. Supreme Breeze is close up on the near side, and then Miss Matty Ross and working out to Brave Spirit. DJ Flippins in the green jacket. Malek is getting through on the inside to take a prominent position. Going to be followed over this fence by Bathwick Annie from Philson Run, and then You're a Gasman from De Tito in the maroon and white jacket, then a couple lengths to High Cotton, and still very patiently ridden towards the rear Corello. Timmy Murphy, the green sleeves on the inside, would be standing the leaders about 8 lengths. There's a further 2 or 3 length break to Baron Windrush as they turn towards the straight, and then a good 20-25 lengths back to Robbo. Still got well over 2 miles to cover. Move on towards another open ditch. Fence 11 coming up to them there in the Eider. And in the centre, Chives is virtually alongside Kerry Lads, and down the inside, Dunbrody Miller and Malek. An appalling mistake, and he's finally gone. He did his best. He just about kept his feet, but he gave Richie McGrath no chance. So Malek is out the race at the 11th, and Chives still disputes it with Kerry Lads and Dunbrody Miller. Supreme Breeze, Miss Matty Ross and Brave Spirit, the next group of 3 over. And then Philson Run, the yellow jacket, getting a bit closer with out wide Bathwick Annie, and now Timmy Murphy begins to creep closer on Corello, just behind De Tito as they take the next up the home straight. You're a Gasman was the next over from High Cotton, and then Baron Windrush and DJ Flippins has spat the dummy out. He's now being driven along, and still Robbo continues, but a long way adrift as they rise at the next. It'll be for real next time, watching the field go over it. 1 or 2 hairy leaps in mid-division, and Chives now comes off the bridle and feels the warmth of David O'Meara's Persuader. And reminders as well for Supreme Breeze as Dunbrody Miller holds the inside going into the turn. There's 1 circuit left to cover in the Totesport Eider. Dunbrody Miller out wide, the near side Kerry Lads, Chives between them, then 2 lengths to Brave Spirit, another 2 or 3 lengths to Miss Matty Ross. Yellow jacket, Philson Run still getting closer from Supreme Breeze. You're a Gasman, blue sleeves and cap. Corello then hugging the paintwork from De Tito, then Baron Windrush from the grey High Cotton. Bathwick Annie seemingly beginning to struggle, so too DJ Flippins, and still Robbo continues, but he's now virtually a furlong behind the main body of the field. So along the side of the course they go towards the 15th, and the front-running Dunbrody Miller giving a great sight in front under Tom Malone, but only holding sway narrowly from Kerry Lads and Chives, who's between horses. They're 2 lengths up on Brave Spirit. Looks like Bathwick Annie's pulling up at the back of the field. DJ Flippins is getting increasingly remote. Baron Windrush is being driven along, and still quietly for Corello under Timmy Murphy. Next one up the side, Dunbrody Miller from Kerry Lads. Reminders for Chives, Brave Spirit, Philson Run out wide joining in, makes smooth progress. Then Corello on the inside. Baron Windrush now beginning to respond to a few reminders. Then Miss Matty Ross pushed along from De Tito. Out wide, You're a Gasman. High Cotton's just about in touch as the main body of the field begin to bunch up. Supreme Breeze, though, is struggling to go with them. Down the back straight for the final time, and on to fence 17 of the 23. And it's Dunbrody Miller only narrowly to Kerry Lads. Baron Windrush nibbling the turf when coming to join them. Out wide, Philson Run. Right down the inside, still Corello inching closer. Looks like Brave Spirit's going to be pulled up sharply. Chives falling back through the field, and there a mistake from Kerry Lads hit it pretty hard, and it's Dunbrody Miller who's about to be joined by Baron Windrush and Philson Run, who've both travelled up strongly. A 3-length break to Corello, who's edged his way into 4th, and then Kerry Lads, the grey High Cotton, has picked off a few of the stragglers. De Tito tries to go with the leading group, but they're beginning to get away from the others, headed by You're a Gasman. Chives on the retreat from Miss Matty Ross, and further back Supreme Breeze. There's 1 more to jump on the far side, but they still got over 3/4 of a mile to travel in the Eider. There are 5 left to jump in total, and it's Dunbrody Miller on the near side of Baron Windrush. Right behind him in 3rd, snapping at their heels, Philson Run, then High Cotton. Corello on the near side. Kerry Lads rallying to the cause out wide. A 3-length break to De Tito is back in about 7th place as they take 5 out, and this is where stamina begins to kick in. They begin the climb for home. There are 4 left to jump, and it's Baron Windrush out wide, Philson Run. Dunbrody Miller shaken up on the inside. Corello, High Cotton closing, and then Kerry Lads as they begin the turn back towards home. Still over half a mile to travel, and the open ditch looms up to them next, and it's Baron Windrush and Carl Llewellyn, the first one to turn their heads for home, chased by Philson Run. Corello's made his way into third as they head down the straight, going to be waved around the open ditch, so it will leave them now just 3 more fences left to jump. Baron Windrush, Corello, the far side comes to lay down the challenge. Philson Run digging in, then the grey High Cotton. Towards the third last they come. Baron Windrush in the centre, near side Philson Run, Corello far side, then High Cotton. 4 in with a chance in the Eider. They're weary horses. They've still got over a quarter of a mile to travel. There are still 2 fences to jump. High Cotton, the grey produced in the centre. Philson Run on the near side wandering. Then Baron Windrush, Corello back in fourth, and it was Philson Run in front at the second last. High Cotton challenging, then Corello. Baron Windrush seemingly can't go on the far side. Philson Run down towards the last, but he can't shake off the challengers. High Cotton will be almost upsides. A great jump from Philson Run, tuck him 2 lengths clear of High Cotton, then Corello and Baron Windrush, and it's Philson Run digging in on the drive towards the line. High Cotton comes for one final crack at him, but Philson Run for Graham Lee, hold on grimly and win the Eider. Philson Run all out from High Cotton, Corello, Baron Windrush in fourth, miles clear of Dunbrody Miller and Kerry Lads.
Days all day. They were walking up the straight there. Philson Run just managed to raise the gallop, and that was enough to win 10-1. High Cotton's never been the winning most horse of all time. A tough stick, you can't take anything away from his courage, but for some reason High Cotton just hates actually putting the head in front. 12-1 High Cotton. Third, number 4, Corello. Another half a furlong, I think that would have got back up. 7-2 favourite, better on the flat and over hurdles than seemingly over fences. And Baron Windrush